What's up, guys? Now there's a void with all the major sports on hold, and specifically there's a competitive void to fill, and MyBookie recognizes that with many of the heated debates, the back and forths, the passion about who is greater in their primes, Michael Jordan versus Kobe Bryant, you name it. MyBookie gives you that opportunity to bet or watch what happens virtually in an argument that could never really be settled until now. During this time, you can get your friends on board and tell them to put their money where their mouth is with the NFL, NBA, NCAA, play for bragging rights and for cash. MyBookie is the first ever sportsbook to offer wagers on virtual sports such as NBA 2K, Madden, NCAA 2K, and more games are coming, including EA Sports UFC. The UFC event in April is in jeopardy. A lot of scrambling going on, but MyBookie will throw its own UFC event, and you can let your fans know that. All simulated games available are streamed, so you can not only bet on them, you could just watch them, which is pretty awesome. Visit mybookie.ag today and use the promo code WEASEL for the exclusive bonus on your first deposit. That's promo code WEASLE to receive a halfway cash match on your first deposit. And the best part is that you can snag those extra funds all the way up to $1,000. MyBookie makes it simple. You play, you win, and best of all, you get paid. Now, with all the things going on, it seems like Khabib Nurmagomedov is not going to be fighting on UFC 249, but there have come a bit of hopeful news that he can possibly still make it to the big fight with Tony Ferguson. According to Russia's Federal Air Transport Agency, Khabib right now can still leave Russia on a private jet so he can go and defend his title in America or wherever else. There are apparently no restrictions on business travels from Russia, but the only problem with this is that might be the reason what's keeping Khabib in Russia and not going out on the private jet to defend his belt is he could potentially have problems coming back into Russia. There are restrictions for preventing the coronavirus for people coming back into Russia, so they can possibly leave, but they can't really come back. And we don't know for how long, and that could be pretty hard, you know, even though we want this fight very badly. Khabib probably wants this fight. Tony Ferguson for sure wants this fight. Khabib, as a father and as a family man, probably has an issue with this. Right? Does he actually want to leave, defend his belt, and maybe not come back for months? We don't even know how long. And that is what I think is holding Khabib in Russia, making his decision on probably not fighting this time and waiting it out until the end of the year. Now, with all that said, there is a possibility of the fight happening. But if it doesn't, and Khabib decides to stay in Russia, or something new passes up that is not going to allow Khabib to travel, it looks like he can travel now, but if he waits too long, possibly there could be some new restriction that doesn't allow him to leave Russia. And if any of those things happen and Tony Ferguson has to fight someone else, whether it be Justin Gaethje, which is looked at right now, Conor McGregor, Dustin Poirier, Tyron Woodley, welterweight fights, Kamaru Usman, or Maslow, whoever it is, I don't think Tony Ferguson should take the fight outside of just getting money, getting paid during the coronavirus situation, because he's most likely not going to be able to fight anytime soon, and he only fought once last year. But for Tony Ferguson's legacy and changing his placement in the lightweight division, taking any other fight besides Khabib does nothing for him, because him and Khabib are nearly equal in status when it comes to the lightweight division. Yes, Khabib is champion, but Tony Ferguson is still looked as a champion of the division that has not lost his belt. Him and Khabib are looked as equals in this division. And if he goes and beats the next contender, it doesn't change anything. Even if it is Justin Gaethje or Conor McGregor, it's a good win under his belt, it's another good contender he has beaten, and he gets paid a considerable amount of money most likely, but it doesn't change anything for him when it comes to where he's at. If anything, it will look to Tony Ferguson as a title defense or something like that, because he is pretty upset that Khabib is not fighting when he looks at the competitive nature of it. And because of that, he will most likely look at it as, I am the champion, I am defending my belt, that's how I see it. He should be stripped, I should be the undisputed champion for sure, just to create legitimacy of it, and I'm defending my belt. Now, I do not think the UFC is going to strip Khabib for many reasons, but with Tony Ferguson fighting someone else, he has nothing really to gain from it outside of just the financial part of it. And that could be the lone reason why Tony might go out and still fight, because it seems like he's still interested in fighting. So my opinion on all of it is, I want to still see a fight. If Tony Ferguson's fighting, I'm always going to tune in. It is going to be a bit of a bummer that he's not going to be fighting Khabib, so there's going to be this aura around this whole thing while Tony Ferguson's fighting, and him versus Justin Gaethje is a fight I never want to miss. But the level of excitement will absolutely decrease of what it would have been if none of this actually happened. But it looks like Tony's going to still fight. Credit to him, I'm still happy for it, I'm still excited to watch a fight. He's gonna get paid, and how can you blame the man for doing that? He should get paid, especially if it's Conor McGregor. Let's say Conor shows up, he wants to fight. The amount of pay Tony's gonna get from that is gonna cover him for like 10 coronavirus seasons, you know? How can you blame the guy? He's probably gonna get a lot of money no matter who he's gonna be fighting. He's most likely gonna be the A side of all of this, and a lot of people are clamoring to fight him. It's a big fight for them, big opportunity for everybody right now. And for that reason alone, the financial part of it, yes, Tony Ferguson should fight. But when it comes to legacy, and it comes to changing his status, changing his placement in the division, and gaining something outside of money, then Tony Ferguson probably should not be fighting. He's going to be risking everything with nothing to gain in that area. And a guy like Justin Gaethje is a very dangerous fight no matter what. I know Justin Gaethje likes to fight with a training camp, and he never wants to take a short notice fight, but he's still a wild man that can knock out anybody. Tony Ferguson's a wild man that can also exchange in that chaos, and he might be the one that gets caught. Dustin Poirier is a very technical fighter, very skilled, well-rounded. Anything could really happen there. The grappling could be very interesting as well. Conor McGregor, a guy that could knock out Tony Ferguson, probably the most dangerous guy on the feet for Tony, and Tony is susceptible to getting hit sometimes, much better defensively than a lot of people give him credit for, but when he does get hit, it's usually pretty bad. You got Tyron Woodley, another thing. Tyron Woodley has been training. He is the most ready fighter to fight Tony Ferguson. If Tony wants to go up to 170, that is. He has the good wrestling, he has the knockout power, all that stuff. Everybody that wants to fight Tony Ferguson, in the place that he is at, combined with his legacy, he is only going to be fighting tough fights. Fights that no matter what will be dangerous to take on short notice. Now, I do favor him in all of these fights, but there is a level of danger that has to be considered when you are his manager, when you are his coaches. And is it worth the reward?